Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm an alcoholic, and I'm going to share why I'm an alcoholic. Well, that's easy, because a Diet Coke don't get you drunk. More than 25 million Americans over the age of 12 are chemically addicted, and less than 11% receive treatment. It's far too easy to sit back and see the statistics, the problems, and to cast judgment. And it's far too hard to begin to imagine that every single among those millions has a story or has an excuse. It is only through choosing to hear that our hearts are able to tell the difference. Some would put it, Things You Should Know About Flying by Ken Dale and Christopher Scarpo. Okay, so I'm an alcoholic because I thought that drinking would help me to forget. And it did. But by the grace of my higher power, I didn't drink today, and I hope that will help me remember. What? You rag on me even though I'm speaking from the heart. The whole thing just happened so fast. Like that. First, Jade, she's coming out of the bathroom, and she's holding this little stick, and she's saying, "We're going to have a kid." And I'm thinking, no, we're still kids. This is like you go to sleep and wake up to realize that 9 months have gone by in a moment. And you're at the hospital and you're holding this itty bitty little person. And you made him. You're holding your son. He was a handsome kid, looked just like his dad right from day one. So the thing is, everybody else was going to prom and applying for school, and I was changing hundreds of diapers and sharing pureed chicken and pea dinner with Teddy, and working at Taco Bell and Target and the Arco off of 73. Because nobody really cares whether or not you're ready. You're never ready. You just have this person who depends on you, and then nothing else matters. Nothing. But being a dad was the first thing I was ever really good at. Because I might have been waiting my whole life to be a dad. But Jade, she didn't do too well to the whole being a mom thing. But for me, it was all about Teddy. You know, I just looked at him and realized that my life meant something now. I was somebody's father. He was my little buddy, and I love him a lot. I guess I figured 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right? That's more than I had. So I tried to forgive her when I came home to the apartment one afternoon. And she was there, drunk, and there's some guy there. And he's in bed with her. And I'm thinking, what kind of screwed up, sick joke is this? I loved her. Right? Exactly. But people make mistakes. And we were just kids. I loved her. I loved Teddy. He was ours. And I just kept forgiving. For Teddy more than for myself. I mean, I thought I was protecting him. You know what insanity really is? It's doing the same thing over and over again and knowing absolutely what the result is going to be. But you keep on doing it anyway. She brought guys back home to our apartment. She'd leave for 3, 4, 5 days at a time. And I'd sit all night in our little matchbox of a kitchen, afraid she was dead. I was more afraid that I'd be relieved if she was. She passed out at the foot of our bed, with the rubber tubing still right around her arm. And Teddy's just standing in his crib, wailing at the top of his lungs. She said it was me, you know, that this was all my fault. And I thought, how did we get here? Then I couldn't forgive anymore because she got into a car high out of her mind. And she took Teddy with her. She had promised, sworn that she wouldn't, that she'd never hurt him. But somebody up there must have been looking out for him because the car was twisted up bad. Her ribs broken, her face all smashed up. And he's just sitting there. Just perfect. Not a scratch. And you want to hear feelings? Truth? Oh my God, the guilt? There's truth. Awful guilt. What kind of father was I? There was no more forgiving. I put him into his little car seat and he slept. We drove and he just slept. But she called me from the hospital, and when I talked to her, it was like we had both sunk down so far underwater that we were there together, and the water filled our lungs full, and when I spoke, the water, the venom, came out with words. No, I am not listening to you. I am done listening to you. Our son, Jade, our kid. No, stop. You don't love me. You don't love Teddy. You only love yourself. Yeah, I care more about him. You are absolutely right. He's my son, Jade. I'd do anything for him. You need to get help. Goodbye, Jade. When you're free, you can fly. Write that down in your little book of quotes, but give me credit. And we did. We flew, Teddy and I. We came to live here on the coast, stayed in a room at my aunt's place. And she's so good with him. He just loves her, grabs her cheeks, and she sings to him. And Jade got help. Months of rehab, and she'd send funny pictures for him, notes to me saying she was getting so much better and that she wanted to see him. How do you do what's right when nothing is? How do you tell your 3-year-old son where his mom has gone? How do you answer when he asks, why doesn't mommy love me anymore? So we were going to meet for lunch, and Teddy, he was just so excited. I was afraid she wasn't going to show. But right on time, she gets to our plate, and she runs up to her screaming, "Mommy, Mommy!" And she said that she likes how pretty the view is, high up like this. She asked me if I mind going down to put quarters in the meter. She'd parked her car in the street in front of the building. And of course I do. I turned back and looked up at them. They're standing on the balcony, waving and smiling at me. And then everything froze for a minute. Her arms stretched out wide, and she's holding him out over the railing, like she's offering him to me or something. In the early dreams, I would almost catch him. I ran like I was on fire, but it wasn't ever fast enough. I would come so close to brushing up against him. I would feel the breeze of his body burn my face like a brand. I've dreamt that dream 1,000 times over, and I never caught him. I don't think I know, really, how to live without him. So I dream instead. I drink instead. When I drink, sometimes I think I can float enough for the two of us, and I tell him, Just hold on to Dad, buddy. Just hold on as tight as you can, and be as quiet as you can for Dad, so she won't hear. But it turns to black as quickly as a blink, and I reach out for him. But my hands come back with nothing. And he's told me the secrets to flying in those dreams, hundreds of them. But he can never tell me how I was supposed to catch him. Why am I an alcoholic? Because when I drink, I get to see him sometimes.